Hello and welcome to A Slice of Pie, the weekly news-ish show that we do on this channel. And this week, it has been insanely busy at my real job, so I really don't have too much prepared for you guys, but I do have some updates on the channel and things that are going to be happening next week. So, let's just get right into it. To start off, we actually have a new camera in our arsenal of cameras. It's a GoPro, actually. The reason we got a GoPro is because we've been doing a lot of live content lately, and honestly, I'm trying to figure out a way to up the quality of the live content, and usually that means buying another standalone camera. Now, I did try to use the Canon camera as my webcam, and unfortunately, due to limitations with how the screen displays, which displays an I instead of P, which causes issues with the capture card, and due to the fact that it has a fairly limited battery, long live streams is not exactly possible with the Canon T6i. I actually had the camera die about a quarter of the way through my Twitch live stream last week. Now, that being said, the next live stream coming up, which is going to involve this, is actually going to be on YouTube. I just set it up so that I can live stream on YouTube, and the idea is that the content of that stream will be YouTube, and then all of the playing card stuff will be on Twitch. So I guess I should probably announce what that content is in the first place. We're actually going to be making a game live. Now, this is something I've wanted to do for a while. I just haven't really had the resources to film and create it live, but now I do. So we're gonna go ahead and we're actually going to make it happen. I'll talk about it more during the live stream on Wednesday this week. So yeah, there's an announcement in the timeline for that. So I actually have to wake up and do things. Yeah. An update on the art that I was working on. It is now colored and it is posable. Here's a really crappy dab that I did at like 5 a.m. On a night that I couldn't sleep. So there, yeah. We're gonna be fully like dissecting. It's weird. We drew it, we colored it, and now we have to dissect it into a couple different layers so that those layers can be animated properly. But that being said, that's not going to be too hard to do in Photoshop, and honestly, it's going to be awesome once it's done. So we are definitely working on that. And I've also started to dig through my backlog of footage. I have a lot of projects that we've never quite posted on the channel, so I'm going to actually wrap up a couple of those videos and have them drop here and there. And then finally, due to this thing's existence, we're going to try and get a Let's Play setup. That being said, I am gonna have to hold off on using this camera for the Let's Play setup because it requires my capture card, and I don't have two capture cards. I mean, I do, but I don't have two good capture cards. Ones that would actually be able to respond to all this. So, Let's Plays should be coming soon. I just gotta figure out the logistics of them. And with that, that's all of the pie news. So let's go into the game news. After the tragedies that befell the nation, I think it was last weekend or a couple days ago at this point, Walmart decided to stop pushing violent video games. Now, this is a somewhat baffling decision because they're still selling guns. That being said, Walmart is not out of the picture for doing stuff like this as knee-jerk reactions. After all, this is the same company that wouldn't sell a single CD with adult advisory written on it. So realistically, they're kind of used to just throwing on a bandage and hoping that their audience takes it. Honestly, like, all they're doing is they're turning off the displays and they're like taking down the posters, but like the violent video games are still there. It's still kind of weird because realistically, there have been enough studies that say violent video games don't affect human psychology, at least not in the long term, to the point that it's scientifically proven that video games do not make you violent. That being said, all of the memes about it are top notch. Kind of a shitty situation since, you know, I'm a gamer and a game developer. Honestly, like, it's weird times, especially because most video games aren't even really that violent. And I mean, Doom is just a crusade against hell. I mean, if you really want to go there. There's a game called Ooblets that's coming out to the Epic Game Store, and it actually announced that it's going to be an Epic Game Store exclusive. This game actually was funded through Patreon instead of Kickstarter or Indiegogo. So this game has actually been in development for a while, and the people behind it have been receiving money from fans who are looking forward to the game to come out. That being said, Epic did offer the creators of Ooblets a guaranteed. They would make back all of the money that they spent, meaning Epic is upfront paying them, and then any profits past that point, they will earn. That's actually a pretty sweet deal for a developer, but controversy ensued once the developers got on Twitter and Discord and started to fight back. Now, we're used to it at this point, the knee-jerk reaction and the hate mob that gathers around anytime the Epic Game Store is mentioned as an exclusive platform. But this time, it got out of hand pretty quickly. That being said, Ooblets looks like a really cute game, and as a developer myself, if Epic were to offer me like a full-blown like, hey, everything you spent on this game, you now, like, you're essentially guaranteed a success, that is a big deal. Pokemon! Wow, we actually got a couple new things about Pokemon. We got our enemy team. They're not exactly evil, they're just crazed fans of a specific person, which is like so UK, it's not even funny. Like, I'm pretty sure the other evil team is going to be the exact same thing, just fans of another person. That being said, the more interesting thing are the Galar forms of certain Pokemons. We actually have Coughing and Wheezing. I think actually we only saw Wheezing, where it's now a smokestack top hat and it's got like a mustache. It looks like the Monopoly Man. Or it looks like something else that I'm not going to mention, but other people have. And this is a family-friendly YouTube channel, so I don't know. The more interesting thing, and the thing that I want to talk about, is Zigzagoon's Kiss interpretation form. Like, this thing is awesome. And even crazier is they added a new evolution to Zigzagoon. A 2-level Pokemon now having a 3rd evolution is awesome, and it actually just kind of shows how the forms are a good way to revive old Pokemon. That being said, Zigzagoon, I think, has been a cornerstone in Nuzlocke, so it's not like that Pokemon really needed too much more fanfare. Gene Simmons did actually post on Twitter that he approves of that Pokemon though, so that's kind of cool. But Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony have all pretty much band together to say that loot boxes, they're not exactly okay where they currently stand, and all of them are saying that loot boxes need to actually have the percentages of what you can get out of that box displayed prominently. Then finally, we got Gearbox and more controversy. I swear, Gearbox is like doomed to be enthralled in controversy for Borderlands 3. YouTuber Supmondo has been posting accurate leaks of Borderlands info for a little while now. Like Borderlands 3, he pretty much has been actively predicting everything as if he has insider information. So Gearbox actually investigated this, went into it, and found that he was actually peeping on live streams that were intended for developer use only. And through an exploit on Twitch, he was getting this information. He took it one step further by monetizing that information and putting it on a Discord that you have to pay him to get access to. This actually took things one step too far, and now Gearbox has actually opened a full investigation against him and struck his channel into the ground. Now, here's the thing about this. I've seen both sides of the story. I've seen the side from the developers and I've seen the side from the creator. The creator probably genuinely stumbled upon this on accident and figured it was a good time and he was going to make his break. And he did. He gained a significant amount of subscribers from these videos. But the second he monetized it, he's actually doing what's like, what's the word? It's not insider trading, but he's essentially monetizing insider information, and that becomes a very tricky area to defend. I'm not going to jump on the hate, like neither of them deserves hate. I think this is a fan who got his break and then just climbed a little bit too high and got burned. But from a developer standpoint, they are legally in the right to remove that information, because at this point, I think Twitch has this in their terms of service. You cannot stream a game in development unless you're developing the game live. I had to actually read all this stuff because I'm developing a game live on YouTube. I had to read through all of the articles and all of the EULAs to make sure that I legally could. And unfortunately, he stepped on at least Twitch's terms of service, and I think he also hit YouTube's terms of service. And so he's kind of lucky that his YouTube channel's still up, but at the same time, like, when you get a hold of this information, there's a way to handle it, and he essentially sold it to other fans, and that's when he crossed the line, unfortunately. All right, and with all of that drama in the game news, let's go into the tech news, where a heated battle is taking place in the server market. Now, it's no secret that Intel has pretty much dominated the server market for several years. It's been Intel and IBM. AMD hasn't really been a thing in the server market, but their new Xeon chips. their new EPYC chips are actually competing with Intel's Xeon chips with twice the performance per dollar. This is actually resulting in Amazon, Google, and Microsoft implementing the new chips into their servers. Because, well, more power is more power, especially in the server market where everything is pretty much all about raw computing power. Toshiba actually invented a new type of NVMe SSD. It's actually closer to the size of an SD card, and it uses a specialized sled that can dock and undock multiple SSDs into it. The coolest part about this is its form factor actually makes it so that you could probably fit this into something as small as a cell phone or a small form factor tablet and have multiple. This will actually probably expand the amount of space that they can put into small form factor laptops. Just thinking about a Razer Blade with terabytes and terabytes and terabytes of storage of just solid state is awesome. That being said, it is going to be very expensive, and they are not hot swappable like traditional SSDs. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We're gonna wrap this video up. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, you can leave a like, comment, subscribe. I do this video once a week. It got moved to Saturday because that was just a better time to get all the tech news and game news compiled. But yeah, thank you guys again. Wolfie out.